Hello guys. Okay, let's go in with some Skin Glow Eye Serum. Hi Mari. Hi Presley. I'm okay. How are you, Mari? Then I'm going to go in with the Nivea Q10 Anti-Wrinkle Sensitive Firming Day Cream. You good? That's good. It's been a bit stressful, but it turned out okay. Well, I don't know if it's turned out okay, actually. I have to go and do something for my mum. I do all that admin and things like that, so she's got a letter and she's a bit worried about it. So we need to go and see what that says. Hi, Sarah. I was just saying, you know, gotta go and do some things for my mum. There's always something to do, isn't there? And it's medication night tonight as well. So there's that. Just saying to my friend Kira though today, I mean, I'm not currently working, but it's almost like YouTube's a full-time job for me. And then looking after my mum on top of that as well. I've always said when I get a full-time job, I won't be on live stream as much. Or YouTube, come to the fact. Who's leaving derogatory messages? And it was such a nice chat to Liz. Let me see what kind of messages you are leaving. I'm not answering any of them. There's like under 16s in here and they're getting YouTuber filtering them. So, Diana, I'm not answering them. I think you're a disgrace. Hi, Sienna. Hi, Pat. I'm definitely not putting them in. Somebody thinks of being funny. He's probably a 15-year-old boy. What did she say? It wasn't a she, it was a he. Diana. Diana Releasey. Right, so I just want to figure out what I'm going to use for foundation. And also e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I mean, what part of this do people think it's alright to come on and say stuff like that to a woman? It's not OF. if you want conversations like that, go and pay a subscription on OF. It's as simple as that, really, isn't it? Thank you, my dates. Hello, does anybody is K-pop fan in here? I'm not personally. I'm not for or against. I've never watched anything. So we'll put some under eye corrector on. Just because I want to use it up. Becca under eye corrector. I really don't have much left. All we're doing at this point is expanding the pan. Right, so I'm going to buy in my day, why call 911? What for? And we wouldn't call 911 in the UK, it's a different number. Then I'm going in with the MCore Beauty Flawless Glow. Instantly smooths, illuminates and blurs skin to perfection. No, because you didn't have opportunity to look so much beautiful, ma'am. I don't tend to put this on the forehead. I don't need it there. I'm not a teenager, no. Those teenage years are long past. I'm an adult. I'm going to get this one of these wipes. Then I'm going to go on with the Jaclyn Hill, or it just says Jaclyn actually, but the woman's called Jaclyn Hill. This is the Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint in Fairlight. I think it's here. Just going off. Let's actually put some facial spray on. So Face Facts Vitamin C. How could I not, Sarah? Favourite musical. But I'll tell you something. When I went to Cruel Intentions, the musical, the 90s musical is what it was called. My teacher from there was 25. And I don't know, I was under the impression this was Blackpool, so it would have been cheaper for a Chicago, the musical t-shirt, but I think it goes on what's popular in the West End. And obviously Chicago, the musical, has always been popular. I paid £28 for this. But it's memories, isn't it, from the show. I don't know if I'll get back there to watch it again. I mean, they'll probably come back next year. They had all kinds of merch though that I would have liked to grab. They had a tote bag. They had a cup. It was a cup not like this, but it had a straw in it, and it just said Chicago the musical across it. Almost like a Stanley cup. I wouldn't have minded that. They had hoodies. But the thing is, with hoodies, I've got 2 White Fox hoodies in my cupboard. In my wardrobe, should I say. And I've got a lot of clothing in there. I need a declutter. So, yeah. Definitely need a declutter before I buy anything else. But I knew going in to Chicago, and I'm going to do a video on Chicago actually, I knew that I was going to buy a t-shirt. I wanted them to basically have t-shirts, like maybe a black t-shirt that said Chicago the musical, then all the tour dates on the back. Do you know, like what you get at concerts? But they didn't have anything like that. They had a black one, and it said he had it coming, because that's one of the phrases from one of the songs, one of the most popular songs. The unisex t-shirts. And I was looking at that to begin with, but then I'm thinking, well, no one knows that. Unless you're a Chicago the musical fan, no one knows that's a phrase from that song. So let's get one of these ones that just says Chicago the musical. And the more I wear it, I've had it on twice now. Once when I was at the musical, because obviously why else do you buy it? You want to wear it there. And they don't give you carrier bags, which sucks considering you're paying £28 for a t-shirt. So I didn't want to have to carry it around everywhere with me. And then what if someone bumped into me when I was holding it? Anyway. Yeah, I decided to put this on in the toilets. But yeah, I knew it. What I'm trying to say is I knew I wanted to get one. I told my mum, I said, I definitely want to get a Chicago the musical t-shirt because it's my favourite musical of all time. Have you ever watched Hairspray? Hairspray, no. I don't really like the actual, do you know, like when it comes on TV, I don't like watching it then, so I wouldn't go and watch it in theatre. Mamma Mia's coming out next year. It's going to the Palace. Me and my mum are going to go and watch that. Then in July of next year, we're watching Lord of the Dance. I just said to my mum, you know, we're not going on holiday because obviously of my situation. Rather than, you know, just not going on holiday doesn't mean we can't have fun times. It's like going to these different musicals throughout the year. It's like a holiday. I love it. Oh, that's nice for you, CO girly. I'm going to watch a musical. Cool, Faye. Which one? Oh my G. OMG, I love Mamma Mia. I've only ever seen it on TV. My friend Kira has been to see it live. She said it's good. So the musicals I've seen so far are only 2 of this year. So I went to see Cruel Intentions, the 90s musical. I think, when was that? March or May? I think it would have been March. Then we went to watch Torval and Dean, which obviously isn't a musical. So we went to watch Torval and Dean. That's it. That was in May. And then this latest one in Blackpool And this latest one was the most expensive tickets. Cost quite a lot of money for these tickets. Mary Poppins, no. I wanted to go and watch that so badly. That's when it comes on at Christmas, that is my favourite thing to watch. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And it took me years to learn how to say that as well. But when I looked in Manchester when they was there, tickets were so expensive, like the cheaper tickets that I tend to buy, because I'm one of these people that just want to go for the experience. I don't feel like you need to be sat on the front row. Not only that, I can't be sat on the front row just because of all the lighting and things like that, and the fact that I've got epilepsy. So, you know, like middle to back row is where I sit when I'm going to watch these productions. But yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you're going to watch Mary Poppins. Where is it that you're watching it? Your curls look amazing. Oh, they need doing again. I've just put, like, I've tried to refresh them best I can. I wash my hair once a week. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you've got curly hair, you don't need to be washing it every 2 to 3 days. Like, I get that you'd need to with straight hair because of the oils, but with curls, they're so dry, you don't, there is no oil in them to begin with. That's why you have to put all those products in to, like, kind of get oil into them. And my hairdresser said, look, you can go 2 weeks, but I've tried going 2 weeks before without washing it, and it was all knotty. Sometimes if I have it up in a clip, like when it's really getting out of hand, I'll put it up in a clip for a couple of days and it gets knotted then, so I try not to do that. It's on in October. I've never watched Mary Poppins. It looks so good. Like last year, I think it was last year, it was the cast went to Dancing on Ice, and just one dance that they did, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go and watch that. But I missed it. I missed out on it, and you know, you've got to accept that. I don't know. My mum is taking me to a surprise location. Well, when you go fair, you'll have to let me know where it was. Hi, Bernie. I might have a look. I might have a look to see where the tour dates are, and if I can go to a different one in the UK. Obviously not West End. Not going to London. I might ask my mum if she wants to come with. Because I feel like it's a mix between Chicago, the musical, and Mary Poppins would be my favourite. I want to say it's probably going to be in London on the West End Fair. And with it being on the West End, because that's where all the music starts, the West End in London is the equivalent to Broadway in New York, or in America. I think Broadway is in New York, isn't it? Hi, Megan. Bernie, good, thanks. And yourself? I'm not too bad, thank you, Bernie. I'm going to a concert in either September or October. Which one, VSC or Girly? I always said if Ed Sheeran came and did a concert in the UK, I would save to go and see him. I just love him. There was last year, and I hope he's coming back this year. There's a guy who is not Ed Sheeran, but he looks like Ed Sheeran, so, and he sings all his songs in the city that I live in, so I wouldn't have to pay out loads of money for like bus fares, you know, taxi fares, train fares. But if he comes back to where I'm living, I'm definitely going to go and watch him. Oh, Benson Boone. Yes. I love his music from what I've heard. I love Ed Sheeran. Yeah, me too. Me too. I think he's the best looking ginger man I've ever seen. Right, let's go in with some number 7, translucent perfect light loose powder. I don't think I'd take my mum to that. I'd just have to suck it up and go by myself unless someone wanted to come with me. It's just, I'd have to go to the MEN. It's not called the MEN anymore, I know that. And there's a lot of pushing, isn't there? I don't want my 75-year-old mother having to deal with that. Thank you very much. My mum's of the mindset as well. Why don't you just get the CD? Because it's not the same, Mum. Yeah, I would say it's my male favourite singer. I don't really have any females. I do like Taylor Swift. I wouldn't say she's my favourite, but oh no, what I would say, I'd say Adele is my favourite. She can reach some top notes, can't she? I'm excited for October. Well, you will be. Now, I'm not going to another musical so far. It's not even a musical, is it? Lord of the Dance isn't a musical, really. I'm not going anywhere till then. I've not booked any more tickets just because of the situation. And the ones that I want to go and see aren't until... Have I got something here? What is going on? The ones that I want to go and see aren't until next year anyway. Mamma Mia is just before Lord of the Dance, so I think it will be in June, May, June of next year. And that's at the Palace as well. I love Adele. I know she's so good. I did go and see someone who looked like her, and basically when Adele she couldn't sing for a period of time because of her throat issues. Believe me, girl, I know how you're feeling because I'm having the same issues. And she put out this show in the UK. Basically, there was like a few people who could reach the notes that she did, and she had this like face mask on and everything, and she went and picked somebody out and said, you will be doing my, if you want to, you will be doing my kind of concerts in the UK. I mean, there was like in theatres, so they're not really concerts, but yeah, that was really, really good. I went to see her, and the woman that I went to see was actually on, I don't think it was Britain's Got Talent, but it was a reality show like that. I'm not too sure if it was Pop Idol, when Pop Idol was a thing. I love her song called Set Fire to the Rain. Yes, I like Hello. Hello came out when me and my ex-husband went our separate ways, and at first I hated it, but I like it now. The high notes in that song are insane, I know. The high notes, to be fair, are insane in every song, and I believe that her songs are kind of like, I mean, I don't think she does it so much now, but it was based on heartbreak, on when she went through a bad time with the boyfriends that she had. I had a nice day today. I got my nails done with Dad's girlfriend. That's great. Did you get any nail art done, or was it just normal nails that you did? Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to go in with the NYX Wonder Stick. Just paint some of this on. Still got plenty left. Yeah, you've already said, Faye. You've still got a while to go as well. Because we're nearly in August, so not too long, you know, a couple of months. Your dad's concert. Is he in a band? You done anything nice today, Andrea? Just been a bit stressed. I need to go and sort something out for my mum, and I was stressed about the job centre as well. I'll tell you about that now, actually. So, the job centre I have to go to every 2 weeks as part of my work commitments. And I do. I go there without fail every 2 weeks. So, on Friday, I had a stomach bug. I think it was gastroenteritis I actually had. I didn't go to the doctors because I was vomiting and pooping. Sorry for the graphics. And I was hoping that I was going to get to the job centre because, you know, I don't like the way they look down at you when you don't make appointments. But I didn't get there, so I barely slept that night. I sleep terrible anyway because I've got sleep apnea and insomnia. So I don't sleep the best. Anyway, I must have fallen asleep and not set my alarm, and I woke up after the appointment by 15 minutes. So what I did is I contacted them straight away and just said, look, you know, I'm really, really sorry that I've missed my appointment. Is there any chance that you could give me a call and we could do the appointment over the phone on this occasion? And my work coach is horrible, and I mean horrible. She doesn't like me. I don't particularly care for her. And she said, no, she said, your appointment's been and gone. I won't be calling you, end of, basically. So before that though, she didn't even contact me when I'd sent the message. I left it 20 minutes and then I called the Universal Credit Hotline, and I just spoke to someone who was lovely, and I just explained the situation, what was wrong, how, you know, how I'd missed the appointment, how I don't make a habit of this. And then just as I was talking to him and he'd messaged my work coach, then I get a message back. And I said, oh, what does the message say? And so I told him, and he said, right. He said, well, you'll have to fill in a form online through your kind of journal and send it back and ask them to book you an appointment. Anyway, in the meantime, my work coach had basically threatened me with sanctions. A sanction is when you lose your money. And all weekend I've been stressed about it. It's not good for me to be stressed. I've got epilepsy. It's just not good for me. When you're stressed to a point, you can have seizures. And yes, I didn't hear back from her, and she's like, we're not threatening with you. I wasn't threatening you with a sanction. I was explaining the implications that not turning up to an appointment can be. And I'm kind of thinking, well, I've not done it deliberately. If you look at my journal, if you look at my account, you can see that I make all my appointments. And I just said, and she said, on this occasion, we've made an allowance, and we've taken your word for it. And I'm thinking, taking my word for it, that's exactly what happened. And it wasn't her that overturned everything. Anyway, it was somebody else. If it was down to her, it would have gone to a decision maker and I would have been sanctioned. You know, she's just not a nice person. Anyway, it's turned out that everything's okay on this occasion. Like I said, they've took my word for it that I was ill, because I was ill. I was all getting ready to kind of appeal the decision and getting a fit note from the doctor. And, excuse me, you know, I just messaged her back and said, thank you, I appreciate this. I will see you at my next appointment, and I don't make a habit of missing appointments. So yeah, I was just so upset on Friday, and I was like, it could have been better. Like, going to the show could have been a better situation. Even though we had a good time, I was just very, very stressed about whether I was going to get sanctioned today. Because if I got sanctioned, they would pretty much, how it works is they put a sanction on your account, and then they basically, however many days until your next appointment, which is normally 2 weeks, they take money off you every day for those 2 weeks. And then they can also place a sanction between 3 to 6 months where you're not getting any money. The only money they have to give you is your rent money. If you live in rental accommodation, if you're living with your parents, they don't have to give you anything. Okay, so how are we supposed to live as single people? And then it was like, I was looking into it, and it was saying, oh, you can claim for a hardship loan, but that's a loan. You have to pay a loan back. Why should I have had to pay a loan back when I was ill? Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent there. I wanted to just tell you that I've been stressed this weekend. Let's read the comments. Yeah, but he sold all of his tickets now. So what's the band's name? Hope you're okay. I can't work. I shouldn't really be working either, Megan, to be honest. I'm very, very ill at the moment. I'm undergoing tests, but I want to work, or I want to at least try to work. I'm applying for work, and yeah. You have epilepsy. I do. I talk about this regularly on the channel, Poppy. Do you remember me? You're gorgeous. I do, Elise. Stress that you didn't need. Exactly. It's like, you know, she's been a bitch, and she didn't need to be. That's disgusting that they do that. It really is. You are beautiful. Thank you, Paul. Right, we're going to go into this palette, my Hourglass one, for the bronzer. I don't know if I'm going to use anything else from here. Yeah, you already asked that once. Is he just going to different people that are doing the lives? I wonder. Want to try and get a nicer pastel look today. I wasn't much keen on that one yesterday. It was too light. The next time I use those orange singles, I'll have to go in with a darker orange shade. I think that's what the problem was. Does it look like I've called? I'm in a live, am I it? Right. Let's get a bit of this on. I don't use this a lot. The Wet n Wild Hello Halo in Halo Goodbye. So put... Why is a lot not coming out? And then we'll put a bit of blush on. I'll go in with this collection one. It's just in the shade 1. It's very nice. If you've got any Boots points, guys, it's £5 or £4.99 with Boots points, and they do contour and they do highlighter. So I would recommend it. And even if not, I would recommend it just for the price of it. It glides on like a Dior one would, or a Charlotte Tilbury, but not quite like as slippy. Hi, Lotus Flower. Your makeup is always flawless. It settles, but gorgeous and never overdone. I do go for not being overdone, especially with the blush. I don't like to have, I mean, if my blusher is too blushed, I'll tend to like just really work on it not being, to be honest, going in with a sponge or something. Yeah, we'll go in with the Hourglass again. We'll go in with this shade. So I think that shade's Vibrant Heat. Yeah, Vibrant Heat. I need a blush brush. But something quite flimsy. Maybe this one. Like for that, we will definitely have to go in a little bit and sort this out. And then blend it out with a powder brush. That's the way I do it anyway. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't tell you guys to do it this way. You got to find your own way, haven't you, to do excuse me. Oh my god. Sorry. You've got to find your own way to do your makeup. And that's my speech and language therapist telling me there's nothing wrong with my throat, practically. Are you kidding me? Right, I'm going to go in with this Super Shock in Lunch Money Project Pan. And then we'll go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Blossom Glow. I really like this. I would say this is a dupe for, I've got it to hand. Maybe not, it's not a straight up colour match. Hang on. But I'd say it's a dupe for the Dior Skin Nude Luminizer in 002. I don't think you can get this one anymore. It's very nice. I mean, I've hit pan, that's how nice it is. So we're just going to go in with a bit of this. Then we'll blend it out. And then we need to get some finishing powder on. Right, so the claims of this isn't that it's a finishing powder, but I've used it enough now to know that it is. So Revolution Beyond Radiance. At the moment I'm using this all the time. I do have a Project Pan finishing powder as well. That's the Huda Beauty Glowish. At the moment I'm just mixing these two. And then just do a bit of this. So this next 6 months, probably till November / the beginning of December, I'm definitely not going to be buying any makeup. I'm not saying no makeup's coming into my collection, because Lisa has bought me the Glamonatrix palette, and she actually bought me the Charlotte Tilbury blush as well, the new cream blushes that came out. So obviously makeup's coming to my collection, but I think they're the only two things. But personally for me, I'm not buying anything. Right, so now I'm going to go in with the Delba First Spray Serum Hydrated and Radiance. And when I say I'm not buying anything, I just mean unless I need to get things. Like, I'm going to always need mascara, I'm going to always need facial sprays and setting sprays, but I'm going to wait until the last possible moment. I mean, I've got this one that I'm using at the moment, the 17 mascara. I've also got the Essence one, which is still quite a wet formula. If that doesn't improve soon, I think I'm going to throw it out, just because I've had it for so long. And then I've got a little mini Lancome one, so I won't need a mascara, I don't think, for 6 months anyway. So we'll see. But I'm only going to get mascaras as and when I need them. I'm just working on, like, not buying. Only using what's in my collection, basically. Under consuming rather than over consuming. And I hope that's okay with you all. I hope that it's okay that I'm not going to be buying, because I know that I do buy here, there and everywhere. I mean, for instance, I have bought something recently, but that's not makeup. It's a pillow for my neck. It's actually on the channel. I took a video of it. It's by Silent Night, and it's an orthopedic pillow, and it has been helping actually. So, but yeah, there's certain things that I will and won't buy. Obviously, clothing I'll buy, skincare I'll buy, hair care, body care, just as and when what I need. Skincare I tend to use, I mean, I've got a few things, but normally I would tend to use one set of skincare and then go out and buy another, but I won't need to do that. I've probably got at least a year's worth of skincare, so I don't have to worry about that at the moment. Hair care is more or less the same deal. I've probably got at least 6 months, and because I've got 2 different sets of shampoos and conditioners, and they last me forever because I only wash my hair once a week. So yeah, that's that. What are you drinking? It's water. It's good for my throat, I'm a it. Right, let's get into doing the eyes. Water is good for the skin as well. It's good for everything. Drink more water. It's not nice, is it? But it is good for you. Right, now I don't even know when my eyeshadow base is. Wonderful. We might have to put some concealer on or something. Yeah, this isn't really gonna do the trick, but I will put some on just to cancel out those veins. Why do you put so many question marks, Ahmed? No need for so many question marks, one will do. That's actually worked out better than I thought. I do need to go through all this basket and figure out where things are. I've lost 2 things now. I think there's only 2 more looks with the Natasha Denona Pastel palette, and then I've got quite a big Beauty Bay palette to use. So I'm just going in now with this powder from the Revolution contour palette. Right, so Natasha Denona Pastel palette is gorgeous. It's so beautiful for spring and summer. So I'm so close. I think I have hit pan there. Yeah, there's definitely pan there. If I stick around there today and see if we can expand that, I think I want to use this shade today. So that shade is Starlight and potentially Dainty as well. I'll use that. And then we'll use Tulle and maybe Feather to blend it out. So let's get into this. Let me put my face brushes away because we do not need them anymore. Okay. I'm sad that they haven't brought out another one of these because I'd be inclined to buy it because it's one of my favourite pastel palettes. Get it in the inner corner there as well. Outer corner, should I say. And you just keep building it up until you've got the desired pigmentation. With pastels, some pastel palettes work better than others. This one's not too bad. Like I've got a Clarity Cosmetics one, and they're more white based. These ones aren't. And the ones that are more white based in my Clarity Cosmetics pastel palette, it's called Some Amazing. I will be using that at some point, maybe next Shop My Stash. They don't really work. I said that to Lisa. Lisa bought it for me. I said they don't really work. I mean, I've got a white eyeshadow base, so I'll use that again. But they're just so white based. It's like that look I did yesterday. It was just too, like, even for me as a pale girly, it was just too light on me. I thought anyway. But sometimes you just got to try these things, don't you? Right, now we're going into Feather. And this has got more of a lilac undertone. So we're going to try and move the hair a bit so you can see it, and just put it here in the crease. Don't know what I'm going to do for liner today. Right, and then I'm going to grab that Revolution palette again. And just go in with that shade. See, we don't want it to go too far up. Or at least I don't. I know people that put eyeshadow all the way up here. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But me personally, I don't like that on me. What's there? Just a lip gloss that fell yesterday. I still haven't come across my Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow quad that I use for the mirror, but I haven't looked. Right. No doubt we'll need that again soon. Anything else? I don't think so for the moment. Right, so let's put in this. So the Pat McGrath Labs Intensifies Artistry Wand. I've lost my glitter glue. So I'm having to use this. I need to use it up anyway. I don't think it works better than glitter glues or glitter primers. I think we'll just go in with Pink Drink from Made by Mitchell, since we're doing a fairly pink look. I mean, this is pretty light. Oh my gosh. Andrea, watch what you're doing. I don't know whether the wood from the pencil did that. Gently, gently. And that's that done. Right. Starlight, this looks beautiful. So that's going to be kind of the main colour, I think. So we'll start at the back. Ooh, that's nice. Right, we'll leave a bit of a gap there for that other colour we talked about earlier. But before that, we'll just do the left eye. Yeah, I think tomorrow is the last look. I think we're just going to do a mint green look, which I love doing mint green looks. I mean, it's the last colour, the last eyeshadow look, just purely because this is kind of the second pink eye look I've done. I did a pink eye look on the first day with this shade. This shade is from Glam Shop. I've had to put it in this pot here. It did come in this, but it crumbled everywhere, so I used that with 2. So I've used this like quite a bit. I mean, every single shade in the palette one have been used. That's fair enough. I don't care about that at this stage because I've used it a lot to begin with. It's only on the newer palettes that I want to use every single eyeshadow, just so I can give you a review on them, really. Right, let's go in with Dainty. So that's that one. That's beautiful as well. So just in the inner corner here. Ooh. Take it a little bit up. Like that. I do feel these eyeshadows though show all your lines, and that's not necessarily a good thing, especially as you get older. Like some are just smooth, but that I've used, but these kind of show your lines that you've got. As long as you're okay with that. It's a really beautiful palette, and not all Natasha Denona palettes do that. Okay, so that's, oh, I like it. It looks ethereal. Right, let's go in with my Eco Tools brush now. I think it's called Illusion. Yeah, Illusion. I'm just going to try and put quite a bit on so we can expand that pan. And we're going to go in a little bit up here like this. This would be a good palette to put in my, if I hadn't pulled it now, it would be a good palette to pull in my That's Expensive project pan. I'm obviously not going to do it for this month coming. I'm using my Pat McGrath Labs ones at the moment, so it's going to be a Pat McGrath Labs one. I don't know what it will be. It will be a quad. Oh, my nose is running. It always happens that when I do my makeup for some reason. Mascara time now. So it's the 17 Bigger Better Lash. Lovely stuff. Would repurchase it in a heartbeat. You've got access to Boots. I think it's £4. I think it may even be less if you've got a Boots card. And then we've just got a lippy to work out. I think I'm just going to do lip gloss. I'm really liking this. Better than I liked the one yesterday anyway. But not as nice as the one I used on that first day. Just because the Glam Shop single was so shifty. I should have done a lash line shade, maybe the purple shade in the palette, the dark purple matte that I used on the first day on the lash line. I'm not doing that now because I've just put mascara down, but that would have looked really, really nice on the lash line with this look, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely pan there, but you can't really see it. Maybe you'll see it a little bit more tomorrow. Part of me feels like doing a yellow look though as well, now I'm looking at it. Maybe we can mix. Right, let's do these shimmers and see what these will look like as a combination. So we've got the mint green. Let's turn the light down. Mint green, yellow, which you can't really see because it's very light. Ooh, they look pretty together. And then we've got, that's called limoncello, by the way. Then we've got mint frost. So rather than using every single eyeshadow individually, I feel like I want to go in with something like this together and just do something different with the eyes. This is when I go crazy in the summer, guys. I go crazy in the summer with my eyeshadows. Normally they're pretty tame, I feel like, but in the summer you can use bright colours, you can use pastels. That's what spring and summer's for. Let's use this Kylie lip gloss. So Kylie Jenner in the shade Daddy's Girl. Do I want to put some lip liner on? Just maybe on the outside. So this lip liner is by Essence. Stay 8 Hour lip liner in the shade I don't know. Oh, where is it on here? Unforgettable. So just on the outside I'm going to do it. Normally I fill the entire lip. I never overfill as well. You see people overfilling the lips. I just don't feel like I need to do it. Not overfill, overline. So that was Project Pan as well. I had to throw the P. Louise one out. And then we're just going to go in with this beautiful Kylie lipstick. Or lip gloss. And there we have it. So that's it. So yeah, I think I'll do that tomorrow. Work on the mint greens and put a pop of this yellow in. I could even do that yellow in the inner corner. I might do that instead of putting Illusion down. So I'll have a think about that tonight. And then the rest of the shades in here. I would have liked to normally have used this, but it's too similar to Giggles from Glam Shop. So Jewel has like that blue shift that Glam Shop had. And then, so how many shades will I not have used? I've not used Bubble. I've not used Airy, so these two here. I've not used Zest, Free. Oh, so it's not too bad then. It will only be 3 shades that I've not used. and I've used 12 shades out of the palette, and it was never supposed to be kind of a no pan left behind. It was just use what you want to use and do the looks that you want to do. So anyway, this is the look, guys. I like it. I think it's turned out pretty well. Thank you for joining me. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video. It would mean a lot to me and it really does help out. And I'll see you tomorrow if you want to come and join me. Bye, guys.